Hello there, fellow summoners. Mad Dog HT here. We are going into the last war of week 2. This is war number 6. We got unstoppable armor on the map as the global, and this is a super extended cut. So we're having a good time, and we faced ISO8A in war number 6. That's a little preview of my fights. We're gonna show the map and all that. But you know, we know some of the guys that are in this alliance. Myself, I really only know personally Sam VDH, the Interceptor. We used to be in a dual challenge chat, and we were both moderators for that. And he's actually in this BG2, which is pretty cool. And I actually fight some of his fights, some of his champs. But we had some banter going back and forth with some of the people, and they're like, oh, show us these fights, how did you do that? Now, I don't have some of the fights that they are requesting because they weren't requesting stuff from BG2, but we had some guys in BG2 share, and there's our bands, Corvus, Apoc, and Quake. Quite a unique set of bands. But yeah, so I'm going to show what I got. So first off, I had recording issues. I ran out of memory on my phone, and I didn't realize this until the war was over. But Sam VDH, he had a Havok there. I went up against that with a Warlock. I did a Power Start 1 boost, Mystic boost. It took like 3 special 2s just because of the fatigues from the running on Fumes to get him down. But we got him down super clean. And then next up, on node 10, we had that Iron Man Infinity War with the heal block, the long distance relationship where you get the weakness when you stay close. Still had that Power Start 1 boost going. I went in with Torch. I got him down. I did get tagged once, and you'll see me heal on the section 2 path because of that, but we got the solo there. And then 19 is this Kraven, and this is where the recording started, about 30 seconds into it. And you can see I'm at 8 bubble shields. It's got bubble shield, power focus 1, and ebb and flow knockdown. We have a white mags on this fight, and that's going to allow us to get the guaranteed stuns, the bleeds, and the armor breaks. The armor breaks are going to get shorter and shorter because of his like debuff duration thing. So like right now, like he has that number 8 shield. Once that gets to 10, the debuffs pretty much just go away immediately. So it's really nice to have a white mags on this fight. If you know, because it's got power focus 1, you want somebody that has, you know, traveling specials that can go across the traps. I think I do go across once, maybe not. But with Warlock and his power control, it made that fight really simple. No connection issue here. We've actually been having some connection issues where we actually lost an attack bonus in our 7th war that just finished today. But yeah, we got that down. I don't have anything else in section 1. That was my assignment, to take those 3 fights. And then we're going to move up to section 2, and I'm going to be on path 5. So here you can see there's my Torch. Got whacked pretty good against that Iron Man. But I did finish it off. It wasn't too terrible, but we put a couple potions into Torch. We throw on a regen boost. I have some power back boost on from the science. I'm going to take several fights with Torch, and you're going to see that I really didn't need it, but I always have it there just in case. I'm okay with spending some of my loyalty on those and kind of having that little safety net. But with this ebb and flow intercept, basically just need to get an intercept off. I don't have flame on going, saving that for a different fight. This does have Sadist, so she's going to hit a little bit harder when we have more debuffs and stuff on, but it's not that bad. And here we go. So we already get to 7 incinerates. We activate Nova Flame, and she's just melting away. And the 1 intercept pretty much took her all the way down with that damage. I don't knock the protection shield down there, but you can see plenty of damage still to do, and we take her out. She only threw 1 special attack, 29 hits, so pretty clean fight there. Was happy with that one. We move up to this Nova on node 37. This also has Ebb and Flow Intercept, and then Mighty Charge. So Doom, bringing in my rank 4 Doom. This is the only fight that I have him scheduled for. And this is probably the cleanest that you can probably take down this fight. So I think there's like 1 special 1, 1 special 3, special 1, special 2. And I'm able to get the intercepts off. I'm nullifying his fury in here in just a second. So that he doesn't, go unblockable on me. And let's see. I think we're gonna let him throw this, and then we're gonna get an intercept off. Oh, we did 2 special ones. I think I'm gonna get 1 hit, and then dash back, intercept, boom. So we got that fury going, and here we're gonna knock him over. Special 2 bars. We are gonna get to 3 bars. Perfect damage on the special 3. We got that Ebb and Flow intercept flirt fury active. Look at that damage. Tons of damage. We get into our Doom cycle. Special 1. The Ebb and Flow fury knocks off, but then we intercept him with a special 2. Lights out. So that was pretty clean, very easy. Doom just taking care of business. And then we're gonna move up. We have a Mojo on the Ebb and Flow intercept, Mighty Charge, and then Crumbling Armor. Now this one does not go as well. So I took this fight last war or 2 wars ago, and I had the Nova Flame for it. I don't have the Nova Flame for this allocated for this fight, so we're just gonna do it with regular Incinerates. And with the Ebb and Flow intercept, he does purify those Incinerates, so it kind of minimizes the damage. I'm going to try to see if I can possibly get enough, but he dashes back there, purifies 5 of them. We're just going to block this. I was trying to release because it was a whole block prompt, but didn't quite get it to where I could release and get back to blocking. But so far so good, but we're kind of getting backed up here. We got the Charge the Heavy prompt. Now we got Block a Hit prompt. So didn't mean to just eat that hit, but there we go. He does have pretty high Mystic's Dispersion. We're in the corner. Block the special 2. It's alright. I do want to try to get an intercept. He wasn't going for it, and I had to use a special prompt. And yeah, we're cornered here, so I'm just like, no, we're gonna get out. We're going to activate the Flame On manually and see what kind of damage we can do with that, because he won't be able to shrug those off. But there we go. We'll get the knockdown, and we're just going to incinerate him as much as possible. A little bit of slow play. He gets to special 2 again. We're just going to block it. We're not going to try to dex, remove all the risk from getting tagged. And there we get an intercept. We get another special 1. We do get a hater buff on us, but we're able to close it out before we get too much degened. So we get the solo. So that was good. So then I moved up to this ManThing, and I had stopped my recording because we had some extra Mr. Fantastic pre-fights that they were like, oh, we can give that to you on this ManThing. But I had my boost going, and I wasn't going to have enough, there wasn't going to be enough time to get them. So I just went back in, and this is where the recording on this started. At the start of the fight, no one's thrown a special yet. That's the first special that was thrown. I was just parrying, and then like a parry light, parry medium. And you can see it only took like 30 hits, and we're able to take down this ManThing. I did use the Flame On, Nova Flames, and he just melted. So I didn't get poisoned because he only threw that last special 2 at the very, very end. So I just slow played it, and ManThing went down pretty easily. And then to showcase our boss takedown, this might seem like a broken record, but 17 is going to take down another Nimrod boss with his Tigra. This one's a little bit different simply because he is noted with the brute force on the right. There were a couple fights that were left on the map that had the unstoppable armor tactic still active, and we kind of talked about it with schedules and whatnot. We just felt like, you know, one, we trusted that 17 could do it, and it wouldn't be that difficult, or put a lot of extra pressure on him with the brute force timer going. And you can just see, like, Nimrod, he's going to be pretty aggressive. A little brute force damage there, but you also do get the willpower healing from the power lock and the cowardice that you get depending on what mode you're in, or maybe possibly both. Now there he missed those pretty far back, but he was pretty clutch at releasing the heavy to get that when he was dashing in. And yeah, 17's gonna get the solo. Nothing new here. Pretty simple fight for him to do, mainly because he's got super awesome skills, and he's got a rank 4 Tigra, which is just an absolute monster. So yeah, basically watch out for the unstoppable armor timer, get the neutralizes up. You can see he's being very patient, making sure that he doesn't get to a special 2, because you don't want him throwing a special 2 in Titan mode, because then he's going to get those unstoppable buffs and you have to wait that out. And if you're waiting that out with the brute force timer, that's no good. So a lot of heavy spam here, and he's just about down. Yeah, so 17 does a great job, gets the solo, and I think this was this a rank 4 Nimrod? Yeah, it was a rank 4 Nimrod, so a lot of damage, a little bit slower on this fight simply because I think the other takedowns were rank 3s. And yeah, just about done. Special 1 to finish. So great job there. Gets the boss down. And then as far as the deaths go, we had 2, they had 2. They barely squeaked us out on time in BG2. But all of our battle groups died twice. We ended up getting 8 deaths total. So we came out the victors in this one and took this win, which is great. We beat ISO8/D69 last season. We were able to beat them again. We had a pretty solid time on this one as well, just over 9,000 seconds. As far as my stats go, 7 fights, 7 kills, no deaths. 35 fights on the season, 37 kills, 1 death. We remained at the 4th spot overall in Masters, which is fine. And 5-1, like halfway through the season, 5-1. That's like incredible. So we're super stoked. Good job to ISO8. It was a hard fought war, and yeah, things are good. Things are good. We're happy. You know, losing 1 out of 6. That's not bad. And here we have the item use. I put on some 6-hour boosts. Didn't have another 6-hour health boost, so I used 2 of those over the 2 sections. 2 power start 1s, and that was in section 1, because I don't think this power start 1 lasted for that Kraven fight across the first 2. And then use a regen and invuln boost. A couple of tech, a couple of science power back boosts, and then 4 potions. Because 1 I messed up on torch, and then I took some degen damage on that Mojo. Had to heal back up for the ManThing. So not too bad. Not the cheapest war by any means, but overall not that bad. On item use, you can see my total items below. It's starting to rack up, but that's for half a season. You know, we got the loyalty for it. We got the compensation for it. And then, yeah, so we added 1 fight to Doom. That's his first fight of the season. We had several fights with Torch. He's up to 13 now. And then we had 2 for Warlock. Those were his first 2 fights. And yeah, we're getting a good mix of champs that we're fighting. That ManThing fight, it was pretty interesting, different way, really slow play at the beginning. I wish I had the whole clip, but it went really well. I was pretty satisfied with that, and yeah, things are going well. And with that said, because the other team, ISO8, wanted to see other fights, and we were just kind of talking about it and having fun times, I was like, hey, if anybody wants to send me any fights, I only did this to BG2. I didn't do this to BG1 or 3. Otherwise, I might have gotten way too many. But I'm going to showcase a bunch of the other fights. You know, the quality on these is going to be similar to the boss one because all these are just sent through line, so there's a little bit of compression on it. It's not going to be like the full HD version that I have for my fights on my phone. But I just thought it might be interesting to share, and maybe you guys will find it interesting. And if you guys like to see a few extra fights here and there besides the boss fight, you know, maybe I'll ask some of my alliance mates, whether they're in my BG or in a different BG, if they would be interested in sharing some footage on some of the more, I don't know, interesting, trickier matchups. But yeah, let's get into that footage. So first up, we have Boom. Boom is new to our battle group, and he's doing a great job. Love this dude. He's awesome. Super reliable. And he just has Mixed Master Fury. He has a rank 3 AA. I'm super jealous. I wish I had a rank 3 AA. And the Neuros are going to turn off that aggression prowess. He does have a White Mags pre-fight on this one, so that he can get those stuns. And he's just going to parry heavy. You know, this does have the Mix Master. You know, some people were like, well, why didn't you play it a little bit different with mixing your combo? And he's like, this is just what I feel comfortable doing. And guess what? It works. Like, and that's the beauty about MCOCs. You know, there may be people that say, oh, you should be doing it this way or that way, and it's more effective and everything. At the end of the day, if it works, it works. And definitely it worked on this fight. Here he's just doing a medium light, and then going into a hard block, so that he can bait him from not throwing his special one, and getting a lot of hits into the block, and gets a nice little intercept there, and he did. So nice job, Boom. And now, so we didn't have Ghost Band, so you know, this is probably new to a lot of people. You don't see a lot of Ghost play. We had a Sauron on path 7, node 7. This is the Kinetic Transference and Power Bond. And E.M.P just goes to town with Ghost, and this is one of the reasons why she's banned. And so when we saw that we could use her, we gave the assignment to Demps to use her in a couple spots. That was one of them. And then next up, he uses her on this next node, node 16. It's got the Vivified and Brute Force. And Kingpin, you know, he is an unstoppable armor champ, so does have to be aware of that. But this fight's going to go super quick, as most Ghost fights do. He has Power Start 1. I think the other one was Power Start 1. I'm not putting on all the boosts and all that like I normally do, because I just don't know, and I just get like the clip. I don't get to see what boosts and stuff that they applied, and wasn't going to ask for all that detail. But you can see he just rinses this Kingpin super quick, and if he even got an unstoppable, the unblockable special 2s would hit right through that. And then he's going up path 9 in section 2. This is 35, the hazard shifts, shock and bleed, one eye open. Now he's not getting a lot of great RNG with getting shocks or bleeds at the beginning, which is fine. But he will get some, and this rank 4 Dr. Doom is going to go down here shortly. Boom, one special 2, 32, 32, 42k, and the special 3 is going to finish it off. So again, another showcase why Ghost is banned. Makes some of the fights, not all of the fights, but a good chunk of the fights on the map pretty easy for solid Ghost players. And then the other node on this path 9 section 2 on the hazard shift, shock and bleed was this rank 3 thing. And this is Demps again going in with his Falcon. Falcon obviously destroys Thing in general. It gets locked on, prevents all the rock stacks. But the locked on also can be used on the hazard shift to not get bled and not get shocked. So he's actually a pretty solid option pending the matchups and stuff. Obviously you wouldn't want to use him against like a Doom or anything on the first one, but there, he gets locked on again, and he can just go to town. Big special 2, gets a decent crit off that. You know, the big hits won't trigger the protection, just the parries will. when Locked On is activated. And here's another big special too to finish it off. 21k crit at the end. Solid job there. Now we're going to show some clips from McLeod. McLeod sent me a lot of footage. He has a rank 3 torch. This is on path 1 in section 1, node 4. It's got the new Reinvigorated Fury and Personal Space Healing node. So you can see she's getting a bunch of regens from being close, but that's not a problem because torch can block that. Now we can't reverse it because it has Indomitable on it, but all the Nova Flames or the Incinerates are going to prevent that healing. Tiger goes down super quick and easy. And then next up, this is on that same path, path 1, node 13. This is the new Masochism over time plus Indomitable. We got Unstoppable Armor Angela. She's metal. So our plan was just to use Magneto. Magneto for a lot of the Unstoppable Armor champs is great. If you have max Pacify, anytime you hit under the stun, you get that extra 30% ability accuracy against the metal champs. So 70% plus 30% equals just total domination, total shutdown of the nodes and all that. So yeah, Magneto's great, and he's just gonna get to a special 3 and then just rinse her. There, doubles up, and I think he's gonna go one more. There he goes, doubles it up, 38 prowess. There is no surviving this Magneto. He's just too OP. So takes that down, and then next we had a Civil Warrior on node 20. You know, normally you're seeing like ManThings and whatnot here. Now this guy could be a pain in the butt with all his armor ups and whatnot, but Magneto, you know, Civil Warrior, he's a metal champ. Magneto destroys metal champs. It's just like Nimrod destroys mutants and Torch destroys mystics. And yeah, he's just going to get a bunch of prowess, get to special 3. This does have the strike counter, Fury, and he will get some Furies. He's pretty much ignoring the node. But it's okay. You know, he won't always get a Fury. The magnetism will often shut that down, and he's just gonna try to build to special 3 and then just light him up just like he did on that last Angela fight. And it's hard to beat a Magneto when you're metal. So and you can see he's got a decent amount of Furies, but if you check that, look at that block damage. It's like nothing. It's like nothing. Magneto he's just too good. I'm actually pretty happy that I rank 3'd my Magneto that I pulled recently. I haven't used him in war yet, but maybe one of these days I'll get the opportunity. And here's another one from McLeod. He had Nebula on his team. This is the E.M.P. node 24, Bergamite, Bubble Shield. And Nebula is really solid for this. You can see that he dexed 1 hit, and you get 2 E.M.P. charges from that dexterity, and he's gonna hit him again. Boom! Now he's up to 4 charges, which is no problem, because once he throws a special, boom! All of a sudden, she's got 20 shock charges, and it's gonna hit her with that. Or he's gonna hit Apoc with that, and 20 shocks. It's gonna do a huge chunk of damage, about 30%. And as long as you manage the bubble shield, you can let him, you know, you don't have to have power to win this fight. You don't have to do specials. You can just use the E.M.P. shocks that you get that feed her, and then just transfer them back over. So she's really solid. I would just always recommend that if you're gonna, you know, go about it this way, that you just keep an eye on your bubble shields. Right now it's 7. He can block all of these. There he goes, 10. He's at 10, and then he's just got to dex the next one and make sure that it's he doesn't try to parry on that 10th. And yeah, he got hit there. Luckily I had the indestructible on. Here's another 19 shocks. He does get a special off. He's gonna get a decent power drain. a full power drain. And yeah, I think he's going to take her down in this next combo or so. So yeah, Nebula, she's great. I love Nebula. I got to actually use Nebula for, was it just one fight for this war number 7? I'll try to get that out somewhat quickly. And I can take her down with another special, or no? Parry, there we go, shocks. There we go. So takes out the Apoc, no problem on E.M.P. And then he just has one, well, he has 2 more fights. This one is node 50. This is the recovery, vigorous assault, safeguard, indomitable node. It's the first one on the right side of Mini Island, and this is an Omega Sentinel. And it's a rank 4. And then he was pretty upset about that. He's like, he knew he was blocking, but just straight out the gate, he loses his invulnerability boost. But that's alright. He keeps calm. Nebula's regen in this fight just shows how OP it is. It's very, very awesome ability where you can just regen a lot of big damage back quickly. So he did trigger one of those regens, so he's pretty much where he started, almost full health. He's going to block a lot. The shock charges that she builds up turns off her ability accuracy because she's a robot. She can't get her armor ups, therefore she can't get to 5. She can't auto block, and she, when she auto blocks you, she will put an incinerate on you, and Nebula just shuts that down. Gets to special 2. The rank 4 was not. It just had just enough health to survive that special 2, and that's all right. He's just gonna build up some more shock charges. He gets hit, but again, look at that regen. It is too dang good, and ends with a ton of health. So there you have it. Takes down that Omega Sentinel. Really showcases how versatile Nebula is. And then this next fight is McLeod again going up against this Sasquatch. And the Sasquatch is on the top right, node 55, best defense, brute force, hard knock life, limber node. So if you parry, you're gonna get the disorients. And that can really block. They can really add up with the block damage. And I believe there's a white max on this fight that we put. Didn't notice that at the beginning, but I'm pretty certain we had a white mags on this. And you can notice that there is no unstoppable armor. Sasquatch is an unstoppable armor champion, but again, we did take the boss down with 17 using his Tigra on the Nimrod, so didn't have to deal with armor ups coming in and then him going unstoppable outside of his Tanarak unstoppables, which he hasn't entered quite yet. I think he's going to get there in just a second. He's going to be pretty aggressive. There it goes. Tanarak is up. Counters that heavy really nicely. See if he'll throw a special. Yep, lots of power stings. Yes, McLeod's playing this pretty well. He hasn't had to use the stuns quite a bit. Gets a nice intercept in the Tanarak. Tanarak, Sasquatch is just normally really, really aggressive, and you can pretty reliably intercept with him, plan on him dashing in at you, and great job there. Solos the Sasquatch with Torch. And then on the other side of the island, we have J Goody, 723. He's got a rank for Spider-Man 2099. It's not max sig, but it's pretty close to it. And this has got the, improved power gain, unblockable special 2, special 2 bias, aspect of evolution. So the power gain can get really nutty. We have all 3 of the Mr. Fantastic pre-fight debuffs on him. And he starts off with 2 heavies, gets the exhaustion, gets another heavy. And you can just check out Mangog's power. There's no power because the exhaustions and the wither and the suppression and the petrify is just shutting him down. Launches a huge special 2, tons of damage, waits out the unstoppable armor just in case he gets unstoppable, which he did. And then he goes for another special 2 and lots of damage. Refreshes all the Mr. Fantastic debuffs on that. And then I think he finishes off with a special one here. No, a heavy. So pretty simple, easy, safe fight for Spider-Man to take. The damage is just quite nutty. And then here's a couple more fights from 17 to finish us off. He used Tigra on the Conflictor Super Scroll, and he's just gonna just rinse this dude. He's got the counter down to where he can heavy him. Now that one he kind of got step backed on, but he's still connected, which was good. Big special too. You can see also he has like a protection and a shock Odin up from prior fight, and just Super Scroll goes down super fast. And then last up, yeah, this is why he had those pre-fights, was he could get the extra buffs from the, the Rich Get Richer. So he's, even though Venom generally has a ton of buffs, Tigra in this case with Odin is going to out buff him and just keep gaining power, which is pretty cool. I think he's just trying to bait out a special one, and he's going to go to special 3. There we go. Now we get the special thrown, and then he's going to throw the special 3, I think, here. Maybe. Looks like, it does look like, yeah, Venom had more buffs there for a second. Oof, gets whacked in the corner. Alright, I don't know if he used all 3 of his invulnerability. I think he used 2. I haven't, actually, this is the first time that I've watched this, but I know he gets the solo. Oof, nice dex there. Nice L2 dex there, 17. Some decent ruptures going on. Throws the special 2. The last part of it's going to be unblockable. Yeah, gotta love Tigra. I gotta get mine awakened and play around with her more. But hopefully you enjoyed. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Peace.